is definitely something that we need to figure out is the system of our content, and that will make it easier for us to really get into our flow, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you mean. I agree.
So if you've been following, you know we've added 2 new members of the TFX team, an operations lead and a growth lead. So what I'm realizing is not that I'm realizing that it's something new, but growth really requires discipline. As you begin to grow, whether it be headcount, whether it be revenue, the requirement of discipline and what's required of you is so much more. So we just started these weekly stand-up meetings. This is pretty standard in any type of corporate environment, but this is the first time that we're doing it within our small org. And one of the things that I really want to pride myself on is really to be able to keep the team as small as possible, but to have outsized returns. So for instance, a few years back, I worked on a venture debt. I worked at a venture debt firm. It was a team of 8. I was actually employee number 8. And we had a really small team, but we were doing about 10 million in revenue, and also we were able to raise $145 million with a team of 8. And it was because of efficiency. It was because of how efficient we were with the people that we had. We were very selective on who was on the team. We were very selective on, we had no meetings. So we were very efficient in every single way, at every single position. Everybody was world class in their own right. And that's the environment that with TFX we want to create. We want to have small teams, but being able to produce outsized returns. And a part of that is really being able to make sure you're consistently aligned. And sometimes, I know it's cliche, but having these weekly meetings are very important to get aligned, to kind of set the tone for the week and, continue to build piece by piece, brick by brick. So let me know, if you're building or growing a team, let me know, how do you, on a week-to-week basis, how do you keep everyone marching at the beat of the same drum? What do you do? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear what other people are doing out there to be efficient and to be able to make sure that your team is aligned at the beginning of the week and everybody's going into the week with their marching orders. Let me know. So one of my marching orders and priorities for this week is to focus in on the media play, making sure that everything, because as you can see, if you watch the last episode 200, you see that we're going through this growing pain of, getting the content and leveling up the content. So this week is really about recording more of the series. We pretty much have everything laid out. It's a matter of just recording it and understanding our workflow for distribution of the content. So this week, I'm going to be spending some time doing that. But one of the things I really want to talk to you about, why this media is so important and why I encourage you to cut on your, press play on your iPhone and become a walking media company, because that's what you are, is you want to be able to control. There's a term called narrative arbitrage. Narrative arbitrage, and basically what that means is you want to be able to control, especially from a company perspective, you want to be able to control the information about your company that's going out. So no matter what's going on, let's say something happens and a third party reports on your company, having your own media platform gives you that control to control the narrative. And the more you can control the narrative, the better, because we're living in this information overload and misinformation overload. So being in control of your information is crucial. And the earlier you start, the better. So right now, we're starting from zero, and some of this content may not be looked at until 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you can look back and say, oh, wow, once we, hit our certain levels of success, this content that we're doing becomes super valuable because we've been able to control the narrative. And also, controlling the narrative allows you to control capital flow into whatever you're doing, because you never know who's watching. So to be able to attract capital because you're able to control the flow of information is another critical thing. Attracting talent. That's another critical thing. I've already spoken to 2 or 3 people who've seen the content with little to no subscribers and views, reaching out to ask to work for our company. And, these are the type of things that, having this narrative arbitrage, I use the big word, to be able to continue to raise the profile of everything that you're doing. So I really encourage you, and I guess I'll be speaking about this a lot, encourage you to just do that, to just press play and document. It's so important. At the end of the day, it's really about shaping the public's, the market's perception of you. So anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into that. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But anyway, if you made it this far in this video, I really appreciate it. Don't take it lightly. So with that said, I'm done for today. Peace.